everybody, and welcome to Financial Fitness. I'm your host, Paul Gebhardt, with my guest today, Dan and Jim Vatu, father and son team,
yes.
by the way.
Yes.
Yeah. Multi-generational.
Yes.
That's true.
Yeah. So how did this happen? Did you have to bribe them to follow it?
That's definitely not it.
No?
Yeah.
I like to think that he saw an opportunity to advance the firm, and he swiftly moved in and took it.
Okay.
Yeah. I was in the corporate world.
It's I've been doing this for over 30 years. He had been in the corporate world for a while, decided to move over and join the firm. He's been with us now for a while. It's great. It's wonderful.
I got to ask you as a dad, yeah.
It's pretty
How does
awesome.
that feel, seriously?
Oh, it's awesome.
Yeah.
Because you've worked in your trade, you've worked in your occupation for a long time, and it becomes sort of like, especially as a business owner, it becomes sort of like your own little child. And then to have one of your actual children come and want to carry that on, there's no greater feeling.
There's a level of pride, it's hard to explain,
It's
isn't
the
it?
best.
Yeah.
And he's really good.
Yeah.
Which,
Yeah, that was a big yeah, right.
I'd like to take a little credit for that. Go ahead.
And from my point of view, it's just so much better on this side. You know, the corporate world has a lot of pluses and minuses and things like that. But going from there to where I'm at now, working with him and working with family, it's so much better. It's so much more fulfilling. It's what I'm really after. I'm actually able to help people, and I can see a difference in the lives that I'm touching. Yeah.
Making a difference in life you're touching. So expand on that a little bit.
Well, so the end goal for guys like us is to have a plan for these people so that they can go out and enjoy the things that they want to do, whether that's working in retirement or just being retired, or really, even if they're not retired, just to go out and enjoy life and know that their financial situation is sound and secure and handled by somebody that they trust.
I like that. Good stuff.
You know what I really like is sometimes there's some of us that haven't been proficient in our planning. We haven't avoided mistakes. We haven't made the perfect plan along the way. It's helping those people that maybe have some issues, like what do we do? How can we help? And I love sitting down and trying to solve those issues.
Yeah.
And it's not about judgment. It's not about looking backwards to say, oh, here's where you went wrong.
Yeah.
It's about, well, here's where we are. Here's where we want to be. How can we get you there? Because that's what people want to know at the end of the day. They know they've made mistakes. We've all made mistakes. That's not the point. The point is, well, here's where you are right now. The past is the past. The future's ahead of us, but all we have is the present. So let's just see where you are and help you build that future.
And there's no better feeling, you know, in my mind, I get, you know, my heart warms a little bit when I present, you know, I show the plan to somebody and they're going through it and it's just a bunch of gobbledygook, a bunch of numbers and stuff. And I'm like, here's what you want. This is the plan. And at the end of the day, I point to a number and I say, look, there's still money left. You're never going to run out. Here's your entire plan. You can make it. And that light goes off in their mind saying, I have a plan. I'm going to make it. I can focus elsewhere.
Yeah, you brought up something there I want to touch on, and I think it's kind of important because I know, ladies and gentlemen, I know you're thinking that out there. If you wondered, guess what? You come in to meet with a financial planner, and they're going to talk about a whole lot, because your life is complex. There's a lot of facets to you. There's a lot of things you want to do. There's a lot of things you're scheduling in that retirement, right? So those numbers and all these pieces of that plan, it can be a little bit overwhelming. But if you seem to forget some of that an hour after you left the appointment, it's okay. You're not alone. Newsflash, that's exactly why you hire people like that. You hire them to spend the time. You hire them to do the worrying. You hire them to take care of that stuff, because guess what? You'd rather be out there trying to catch largemouth bass.
Right.
Or keep that white ball in the middle of the fairway. Oh, going shopping at Macy's or Nordstrom's or wherever you shop, right? You'd rather be doing a host of other things. The last thing you probably really want to do is think about all those numbers that we talked about 2 days ago.
Well, you know, the way it works is it's a process. It's not you come in and sit down for one visit and magically, presto, changeo, everything's different. No, it's a process.
Wonderful
we
point.
become part of the team.
Yes.
So it's, okay, here's where we are, here's our goals, here's what we're looking to do in our next phase. But it's the process along the way. It's not like you start today and then you never visit us again. So remembering all the facts and figures, that's our job, is to remember those things. And it's just to how we apply those along the way, the stepping stones along that path. How are we going to claim our Social Security benefits? And I've got this 401k thing, 401k.
What just?
Well, I had somebody very close to us. You referred to it as a 401k.
401. That's a good one. I like that one.
401k or IRAs or any of these complicated things that people don't understand. We help you to understand them, but we also show you, okay, well, here's how we're going to do it. And when you're there to turn the switch on this stuff, we're there with you.
And you brought up a good point that, they'll come in and they'll see us and that light bulb will go on and they'll be like, oh, this plan's great. I totally understand it. And then an hour later, they forget it. That happens 99% of the time.
And Dan, you want them to know that's quite okay,
and
right?
That's very okay. I wouldn't expect them to know it, even after 100 times. Yes. And that's great. And we want them to understand.
Are you saying there won't be like homework?
There's
on
no
that?
test.
Yeah, you don't test them when they come back about everything they did the time before. Well, that's good.
So
makes me feel better.
We want them to know it somewhat, from a 30,000-foot view. But more than that, we want them to know that we know what's going on and that they can come to us if they want a detail here or there. We've got it, and that we know how this plan is going to function, and they can rest assured
that they're hiring you guys to be good stewards.
Exactly.
Right. Bottom line, they're hiring you guys to be good stewards.
Right.
And that's valuable. And folks ask me all the time, say, Paul, well, how do I know who's the right fit for me? How do I hire somebody? I mean, there's so much information out there. This internet leads me here, that website there. This radio talk show host sent me here. By the way, he got paid to do that. I'm letting you know straight. News flash, okay? Got paid to do that. How do you know? You talk to different people.
Yeah.
You get second and third opinions, right, guys? And here's the thing. Write down your questions. Treat it like an interview. This needs to be your little business. It's your pension. It's your own little small business, right? You need to interview people. You need to ask them questions.
That's really what our first meeting is.
Yeah.
Is it's just a conversation. You leave the checkbook at home. You bring whatever you're comfortable with. You don't have to bring anything. It's really just a conversation. You can ask us anything you want. And we try to get to know you, but at the same time, you're trying to get to know us.
Absolutely.
And you can tell if it's a fit or not, and then the conversation continues. But it's not a set, okay, well, it's 2 free meetings kind of thing. It's a conversation.
It's a conversation.
I'm not gonna, there's not a set, you're allowed 60 minutes, and on the 61st minute, I'm, pulling the plug. No, it's just a conversation.
Yeah, I'm going to give you something to write down to remember when you're asking them questions. This is really important. And you're going to think, oh, gosh, that was so simple, Paul. I remember that. I want you to write this down. It's not how they or what they respond to, the actual answers. It's how they respond. That's what you want to see. Look for passion. Look for people who you can tell, man, they really love talking about this stuff. Because guess what? People who love what they do and they love talking about the subject, they tend to be pretty good at it. You know?
And everybody in our industry, all the guys and gals in our industry, we can all offer the same things in terms of products, in terms of tools.
Yeah.
So when you sit down with somebody, you want to know, can I deal with this person for the rest of my life? Do I have fun? Do we get along?
Yep.
That's the biggest thing for us.
Do I feel like they're listening to me?
Right.
Do I think they understand, or know I understand, by the way, what my plan is? Do they really get me? Do they understand me? Here's one for you. Just imagine if Tiger Woods hated golf. Hello? That don't make any sense, right? You have to work with folks that you know love what they're doing. That's what you got to do. And more importantly, they want to get to know you. They want to get to your why. With every part of this, it's coming back to why you want to do it. So speaking of the why, I understand you guys have a wonderful offer, Dan, that you would like to share with them today.
We do, yeah. So for the first 10 people that call, we're going to put together that plan. So we're going to take their shoebox or their spreadsheet full of their financial things, and we're going to plan out their retirement plan. But that first meeting is going to be a lot less than that. It's just going to be that conversation of, do you like me? Do we get along well? Could we work together? And then once that's done, we're going to put together that plan for them.
I like that. I like that. The key component here is it's complimentary. It's complimentary, but that doesn't mean it ain't valuable. I've seen it cost, $1,500 a session, because there is time and energy and planning that goes into you. All you have to do is take control of it by starting the process. You begin the relationship on your terms. Call the number, 866-356-8889. Let Jim and Dan and the family go to work for you. Come join the family. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to be right back after these messages.
How confident are you in your current financial plan? Do you know with certainty how the recent market volatility will affect your future hopes and dreams? How much are you paying in taxes? And how much are you losing to unnecessary high fees? You didn't work to save this money so that you could spend your time worried in retirement. Now is the time to take charge of your finances so you can feel confident about your future. Call in during the next 30 minutes of today's show only to set up an absolutely complimentary, no obligation, full-blown financial review that will result in your own customized written plan. This is a $999 value that we're giving away complimentary to the first 10 people who respond. We'll start with a full-blown analysis of what you already have. By running a report to untangle how much you are currently paying in fees, how you're allocated for risk, and what it's costing to work with your current advisor. Next, we'll identify your goals. Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? Where do you want to go? And who do you hope to go there with? Is your current financial plan set up to get you there without mishap? Let's design a roadmap to create a financial plan you can follow with confidence. Get the piece that so many people are missing from their retirement. Find out how having a written plan can make a difference to your retirement dreams. Call now to schedule your complimentary, no obligation, full-blown financial review today.
Welcome back to Financial Fitness. I'm your host, Paul Gebhardt, with my guests today, Dan and Jim Vittu of Vittu Financial Services. You know, in the break, I was being lectured about physical fitness. But you know what? I deserve it. So, you know what? So much of what we do in our financial picture, it's interesting how much it does parallel our physical fitness as well, right?
Yeah, I mean, we look at it as you have to be fit in both ways. You can't work out once and then be in shape. I mean,
Yeah.
You got to kind of stay with it, and you got to be proactive with it and do it day in and day out. Financial fitness is a little different in that you don't have to look at it every day, but you do want to look at it regularly so that you do remain fit and you can adapt to any changes that come along.
Good stuff. Got to exercise the plan on a regular basis.
Right.
See how I did that?
Good one.
See, I went to
Good
school.
one.
Sticker.
4 years of
Exercise the
college
plan.
for that.
Good one.
4 years of college. Look out. Hey, you know, look, far be it for me to jump into topics because, you know, look, people ask, Paul, how come we're going to cover topics, but the topics that are important are you, and they're personal to you. Every one of you out there have so many different questions. But there is one question I get a lot from a lot of people, and it's about taxes because it scares them to death. So one thing the government's in charge of, they know they got to pay it, or they end up in those little orange suits. And nobody wants to do that. So what can people do, and how important is it really for them to take an active role in the tax strategy?
Well, for us, there's tax preparation that's going to have your taxes done, your 1040
Yes.
and those kind of things that we all have to do. Our focus is on tax planning, which is more of not the debit and credit and what we spent last year. It's more of, okay, where's our money currently sitting? It's in these 401ks and these IRAs and those kind of things. And people now talk about Roth IRAs and those kind of things. Those are really all just how that is registered with the government. So a 401k means we've accumulated a large amount of money, hopefully, but we haven't settled up with Uncle Sam yet. So what's the strategy we're going to look at long term and the most efficient way to pull that money out?
Okay, I'm listening.
So it really is a case-by-case basis. There isn't just a cookie cutter. There isn't just okay, well, you have this, so automatically we do this. No, it's how does all the pieces fit together in the puzzle? Because let's face it, we all have lots of different things going on. As we approach retirement, we've accumulated, maybe we've had... You know, we're not our parents' generation in that you had one job, you have a pension, you have a little Social Security check, and you live happily ever after. We've had 5 jobs, 7 jobs, 10 jobs. I don't know. Maybe we have a little piece of a retirement plan with all of them. Maybe we don't. Like, where's your money currently? So a lot of what we do is just helping you to get organized, to say, okay, well, here's where it is, here's how it looks, and then to give you some ideas of here's how we might improve that. Like if we switch to or we convert some of these assets to a Roth, for instance, there's a tax benefit down the line. How does it look? To present you with the options to say, okay, well, here's where we are.
Yeah.
Here's how we can make a brighter future.
Well, but hold on a second here. I thought I made too much money and I don't qualify for a Roth. You tell me that changes later?
Yeah, it could very well be true. So in terms of starting a Roth from scratch, yes, there are earnings limits, and we can look at that. But in terms of converting, if you have a 401k, you can convert without having to worry about how much money you earn. And that, again, that there's tax impacts there, and that fits into that overall plan that we do for people. And tax is just the most recent hot button topic that everybody's talking to, and we have a plan for that, so that as the tax code, whether it goes up or down, it's definitely going to change. As that changes, the plan changes with it.
You mentioned it's a hot topic, yeah, but I think deservedly so, guys, right? Because
I agree. Yeah.
I mean, if you don't, you're talking about something that could impact your retirement nest egg 20, 30, 40%.
Yeah.
Sure, and it's not the most fun topic in the world to talk about. Nobody likes to talk about taxes. I don't even think tax guys like to talk about taxes. But I know some guys. I know some guys. So, but it's a critical component.
Yeah.
And I know we like to have fun in the office
Sure.
and stuff, but we tackle the serious stuff. So the tax planning is a serious thing. The Roth conversion, all this. I know this confuses everybody at home. It confuses people when they come in the office. But we walk you step by step through it, and we show you the numbers because these are your numbers.
Yeah.
So we want you comfortable. We walk you through it just to make sure you're comfortable with everything.
Yeah, let's hit him. Go ahead. You want to
I was just going to say, what we're really after with the whole tax planning thing is just to be tax efficient. So we want to pay our fair share, but we try to find ways that maybe we can organize things so that we're just more efficient with it, where we can spread these over a few different ways that make it a more efficient plan for you.
Well, you're going where I was going. So we're actually on the same subject. So let's just think. Let's just throw the number out there and use the million. Yes, let's use $1 million. If it's $1 million and not a proper strategy was made, and it cost you 30% of it, guess what? That's $300,000.
Yep.
Well, hold on a minute. Let's not stop there. Let's talk about the mileage you could have got out of that $300,000. Now that would sting, right?
That's one of those things that one of the big fears that I have for clients is the whole tax efficiency thing. It's you don't think it's a lot this year. It's we had to pay a little more than we thought. But the next thing you know, you do that for 10 years. And then maybe we've done that for 20 years. If we were inefficient, all of a sudden you're talking about real money.
Yeah.
And it's like, did we have the opportunity to sit down with somebody and maybe have a strategy spelled out? Maybe you take advantage of it, maybe you don't. You should at least have the information to say, I know I'm going to do it this way, and I'm okay with that. But you should know. So many people come in to see us, they don't know what they don't know.
Right. That's what we're talking about for sure.
So the idea is to present you with information to just say, oh, okay, well, maybe we want to address it this way because here's the things you're not looking out for.
Yeah.
And here's the things we see that could be a possible hurdle to jump over in retirement.
Yeah. I wonder if there was something out there, you folks might be thinking about this, I see all these wealthy people. How come these wealthy people never seem to pay these taxes? I don't know. Could it be they got a good tax efficient plan? Right?
Yeah,
I mean, could it be that, this is the thing I think folks miss. I don't know that they know that there are many different options out there to help build a cohesive tax strategy.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, there are several levers that we can pull, and they have impacts throughout the whole plan. But a lot of the time, it's just about putting those alternatives in front of people and saying, okay, this is your plan now. Here are some ways that we can improve this and make it more efficient so that you can save some of that, imaginary $300,000. We're not giving away $300,000, just so that people, so that people know that.
Right. Yeah. We're just trying to keep it in your pocket. That's what we're trying to do. So, look, would you mind, Dan, again, sharing with the good people out there what you guys are offering? They come meet with you and your dad.
So we're going to design that whole plan, that tax plan included, that retirement plan, that complementary plan that basically takes everything they've got, whether it's Social Security, Medicare, all of their assets, things like that, and we're going to weave that together in a cohesive plan going forward through retirement.
Good stuff. Because guess what? What if they do shade you that 30%? What if it's 20%? Whatever the number is. I don't know about you. A $200,000 raise in retirement? $300,000 raise?
I'll take it.
Yeah, pick me. Okay, pick me. But the bottom line is, this is really about you. You drive this. This is your future, your personal plan. Nobody else is going to do that but you. But here's what's great. We got people willing to partner with you. And that's a powerful thing. Relationships, this guy here still believes in them, okay? 866-356-8889. Take advantage of that complimentary offer. Complimentary. Remember that. We got to take a short break. We're going to be right back after these messages.
As a good saver, you've been putting away money during your working years. Studies find that the biggest fear of retirees is running out of money. Market volatility isn't just the downward movement of stock prices, it's the size and frequency of change. The more dramatic the ups and downs, the higher the volatility. This can put savers who are newly retired or a few years away from being retired at greater risk. Today's generation of retirees is not receiving traditional pensions as our parents or grandparents did. Instead, we have retirement accounts such as 401ks or 403bs. These accounts typically expose your money to market risk. The last thing you want right before retirement is to lose a portion of the money you need for income. But how do you turn these accounts into a retirement income? Is it safe to keep all your retirement money sitting in the stock market? The last thing you want is to lose a portion of the money you need for income due to market loss. By working with a financial professional, you can learn how to turn a portion of your savings into an income stream for life and income for the life of your spouse if you're married. We all have moments in our lives when we wish we had taken action sooner. Don't let procrastination reign on your retirement parade. Act now before it's too late. Please call our office to set up your no-cost, no-obligation retirement income review today.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Financial Fitness. I'm your host, Paul Gebhardt, and our guest today, so far, we've had a wonderful time. It was with Dan and Jim Batu.
It's been fun. Yes.
And, you know, we do laugh a lot, and we talk about some serious stuff. But, hey, guess what? That stress you feel, the anxiety you feel, all these things you go through, I get it. We all get it. But that's why if you get yourself in a good spot, it is nice and comfortable when you can laugh. Laugh all the way to wherever you want to go. My dad used to say, laugh all the way to the bank. You remember that old term? Right. You can laugh all the way through retirement.
To the bank.
Yeah.
Laugh all the way through it, man. That should be a goal. What a great goal. Maybe that's one I'll jot down on my bucket list. Laugh all the way through retirement. Right. You know, and that's what comes from a good strategy, right, guys? A good plan.
Right.
You know? I want to ask you a little bit about Social Security, and then I'd like to take some questions, if you guys don't mind, from some viewers today.
Love to.
Social Security, I want to put the billion-dollar question out there, because, man, I tell you what, a lot of folks are confused by Social Security, and so am I. You know, I'm not worried about thinking whether or not it's going to be around when I get there. I'm just like, man, when is the right time for me to take it?
That might be a $1 trillion question. I don't know that anybody really has that answer just because it's so specific to the individual. So Social Security itself, you know, they follow over 3,500 rules when you go to file. So there are so many different things that go into that decision. So it basically just fits back into that overall plan because filing for Social Security also affects when you take distributions from everything else and how that affects your taxes and Medicare. And it's really hard to answer that in a vacuum in terms of when is the best time. A lot of people, the vast majority of people, turn 62 and they've been taught that when you turn 62 you claim it, and that, you know, sometimes that winds up being the less good decision, the not as good decision as if you had just come in to speak with somebody like us to find out what are my options. You know, if I wait to full retirement age, can I make it there to get that bonus? If I wait past there, is it worth waiting that as well? So it's kind of hard to answer when the best time is in a generality. It's very specific to the individual.
Right. So to that guy out there that's thinking, you know, the one thing I worry so much about, because I hear this a lot, you know, it's like, oh my gosh, it took Social Security too soon, right?
Right.
So basically what you guys are saying, that may not be the case. If you want to know your individual case, you reach out and get advice.
And for some people, that is the right decision. You know, we do the analysis, and it was right to turn it on at 62. But for others, we can say, okay, you know, you did this. There's really nothing we can do once it's done. But if you haven't done it yet, at least come in to talk and say, what are my options? How does this work? What's the most efficient?
Dan, I love that about you, the optimism. So you're basically saying it's not the end of the world if they did.
Right. Yeah.
Here we go, back to that theme.
Exactly.
If you made that mistake and you feel silly about it, it's
we're moving
all right.
forward, not backward.
Bottom line is, what are we going to do about it?
Right.
Where are you now? We made mistakes in the past. Fine. It's not about judgment. It's about, okay, where are you and how can we help? How can we rectify this? If at all, sometimes we can, sometimes we can't. You need to have that information versus just kicking yourself every time you think, oh, I did this wrong, I did this wrong, I did this wrong. That's not going to solve anything for you. It's where are you now and how do we help get you back on path.
Yeah. I think we got time for a question. You guys mind if you were a question?
No, absolutely.
Stump the advisor.
Stump the advisor. It's a little game we like to play here where the stakes get really high. No. But we got Ben from Bay Village, so thanks for reaching out, Ben. This one's for you, buddy. He's got an annuity question, which I kind of, I kind of like those.
Okay.
I'm sorry, call me a homer.
Okay.
But he wants to know, can you help me understand the differences between variable, fixed, and indexed? What are the differences?
So from that's a much bigger question than we probably have time for.
Ooh.
There's many types of annuities. So we've got the variable you talked about, the fixed, and the fixed index. So
Yes.
a variable annuity is a type of investment product. It allows you to put away money on a tax-deferred basis.
Yeah.
It can also be used in a qualified account, so you can use it pre-tax. And it gives you a bunch of different choices within there, almost like a mutual fund type choice. So you would have like some stock type options, some bond type options. So it can run similar to what you would ordinarily look at like a 401k. Runs a little differently, fees are a little different. There's lots of them out there to choose from. And then over the years, like everything, they've changed. So now we have the ability to start a guaranteed income stream at a future date, kind of like your Social Security payment. So it's going to start at a future date, and it's going to pay you for a fixed amount of money or a variable amount of money for a long period of time. Then we have just the plain old-fashioned fixed annuity. The plain old-fashioned fixed annuity is it's a set amount that you deposit, and it grows at a set interest rate. Mm-hmm. Again, for a distribution or to start taking money at a future date. Or sometimes we just take the whole balance out of it. And then a fixed index annuity, and I know everybody at home is just riveted by this.
The channel's been changed.
Right. The idea of a fixed index annuity is sort of a hybrid. It's a fixed annuity, but it gives you some options to explore in the marketplace to maybe give yourself the potential for a better return. They have floors, though, so that you can't go below the money you've invested. And I know it's complicated, and I apologize for that. There's thousands available.
Right.
The best thing to do is to talk to a competent advisor who can run you through all these
Great
ideas.
questions.
Well said. Exactly. Great question, Ben, but pretty
Thanks, Ben.
detailed. Pretty detailed, right?
Yeah.
You got to reach out, Ben. That's what I would say, do. Find out what's best for you, my friend. But that's what this is about. End of a show here. It's all about you. And something strange. Love. Who do you love? What do you love to do? Where do you love to go? Money touches every aspect of our lives. We all know that. Take advantage of the complimentary consultation with these guys. Let them help you with peace of mind. Man, it's a powerful thing. 866-356-8889. We want to thank you for allowing us in your homes today. We wish you all the best. Be well.